The king of rock and roll, the man who had the world in his hands, millions of fans. But there was one night at Graceland where Elvis Presley, the king, broke down in tears. It wasn't over a sick mother or a crazed fan. It was over a dilemma of love that threatened to destroy the one thing he couldn't buy, the peace of his own heart. He wanted them both. Anita Wood, his #1 girl, and Priscilla Presley, the young woman who changed everything in Germany. He was crying and he couldn't choose, Anita declared. Fans of the king, prepare to step into Elvis's most intimate and devastating drama. Today, we're going to uncover in detail how this romantic crossroad was the spark that ignited the fire of destiny, sealing his life forever. You are about to discover the untold truth. Stay tuned, because the chronology of the facts will shock you. To understand the chaos of 1962, we need context. Anita Wood was not just a fleeting girlfriend. She was the unofficial First Lady of Graceland, a constant and welcoming presence in Elvis's home. Their relationship, which began in 1957, had deeply established roots, which makes the eventual separation even more dramatic.
The romance started in Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis, at the height of his popularity and charisma, met Anita, a local television artist, singer, and dancer, possessing stunning beauty and a strong personality. She was mature and independent, characteristics that set her apart from many of the Hollywood girls who orbited the king. Elvis quickly nicknamed her Little or Little Bitty, and this intimate affection demonstrated the seriousness of their involvement. Most importantly, she had the approval of Elvis's family. Anita Wood was welcome at Graceland and had a warm, respectful relationship with Vernon and, crucially, with Gladys Presley, Elvis's mother. In the emotional and social hierarchy of Elvis's inner circle, Anita held a prominent place, a privilege given to very few women. She didn't just visit, she lived at Graceland, having a room dedicated to her, which cemented her status as the official and principal girlfriend. Their relationship blossomed and seemed headed for the altar. It was a love that his friends and the Memphis Mafia viewed as definitive. The first major test for the couple came in 1958, when Elvis was drafted into the military and sent to Germany. The physical separation was a test of loyalty and commitment. While Elvis served his duty, Anita kept her promise to wait for him. Her devotion was palpable and public. In a gesture that illustrates her deep commitment, Anita reportedly turned down a promising acting contract with Paramount Pictures. Elvis, afraid that distance and opportunities would pull her away, asked her to wait, and she did, prioritizing the relationship above a professional ascent in Hollywood. During Elvis's military service, Anita's presence, even from a distance, became even more vital after the tragic loss of Elvis's mother, Gladys, in August 1958. Anita was a constant emotional support for Elvis, the anchor he needed to navigate the pain and solitude of grief, even while he was on another continent. She was the representative of life at home, the reminder of the future waiting for him in Memphis. However, it is precisely in Germany, in September 1959, that destiny intervenes. Elvis, then 24, meets the young Priscilla Presley, just 14, at a party in Bad Nauheim. The connection was instant and intense, and the age difference, although controversial, did not prevent the development of a new and powerful emotional bond.
With this new passion, the king began to live a delicate and exhausting balance. On one side, he maintained the facade of stable, familiar love with Anita, sending letters and making sweet calls to his Little Bitty in Memphis. On the other, he fueled the electricity and mystery of a new romance with Priscilla. When Elvis returned to the United States in 1960, he tried, in an unthinkable way, to re-establish the relationship with Anita, keeping her as his official girlfriend at Graceland. At the same time, he continued corresponding with Priscilla, lighting the teenager's hope of moving to America. Elvis believed he could have both great passions in his life, Or perhaps he was just postponing a painful decision. This attempt to keep both girlfriends in the same orbit created the perfect storm that would culminate in 1962, revealing a human, indecisive Elvis on the verge of having his heart broken by the woman he trusted the most. The promise made to Anita Wood was, silently, being broken. What do you think? Was Anita Wood right to sacrifice her career to wait for Elvis? Leave your honest opinion in the comments. Elvis's return to the United States in 1960 marked the beginning of a double life that became unsustainable. While he resumed his film career and enjoyed Anita Wood's company at Graceland, Priscilla's shadow loomed over the relationship, growing with the young woman's imminent move to Memphis. For Anita, the official and dedicated girlfriend who had waited for him during his military service, the signs that something was wrong began to accumulate. She noticed Elvis's gradual, subtle emotional distance, a man she knew intimately. The long and mysterious phone calls Elvis made, often in private and with an evasive tone, raised suspicion. Elvis invented excuses and tried to reassure her, but Anita's intuition, nourished by years of living together, spoke louder than his words. The joy and frankness that once characterized their relationship gave way to an atmosphere of secrecy and tension. Elvis's house of cards collapsed in 1962 during a trip to Los Angeles. Anita Wood, in a hotel, was searching for something or just tidying up when she found the irrefutable evidence that confirmed her worst fears. She discovered a letter, handwritten by Priscilla, which clearly exposed the secret relationship and Elvis's long-term plan. The letter from a teenager expressed longing, devotion, and, crucially, pressed Elvis to call Priscilla's father to finalize the arrangements for her move to Graceland. For Anita, this was not just a passing fling. The letter revealed a plan orchestrated by Elvis to replace her, or, even more cruelly, to try to keep both women in his life somehow. The betrayal of trust, the lie, and the manipulation of facts were devastating to the woman who had dedicated 5 years of her life and sacrificed her own career for him. Devastated, Anita Wood knew she could no longer ignore the truth and decided to confront Elvis and his father, Vernon Presley. The scene, according to Anita's account, occurred in the hotel dining room and was of overwhelming emotional intensity. In an act of deep dignity and self-awareness, Anita confronted the king. She didn't ask for explanations or beg for his love. Instead, she uttered the words that would seal both their fates. "I'm going to make this decision for you because you can't." She announced that she was leaving, withdrawing from the love triangle, and forcing Elvis to face the reality of his indecision. Elvis's reaction was not anger or defense, but total emotional collapse. The king of rock, the man who commanded stages and audiences, broke down in tears in front of Anita and his father. He was genuinely torn. It wasn't a game for him. He harbored deep, true feelings for Anita, the love of his adult life. But he was irresistibly drawn to the new, powerful connection with Priscilla. Elvis's crying was the confession of a vulnerable man, overwhelmed by the pressure of his own life and unable to choose between comfort and passion, between the past and the future. Anita recalled the scene of mutual crying, a lament for the loss of what they had. Amidst the tears, he reportedly said the phrase that summarizes the entire dilemma: "I pray to God that I am doing the right thing by letting you go." Anita Wood's departure was not just the end of a relationship, it was the moment when she, Elvis's most stable partner, took the decision out of his hands. She left with the dignity that the king, trapped in his own indecision, could not muster. Anita's ultimatum paved the way for Priscilla Presley, but it left a deep wound in Elvis's heart, who knew he had lost a secure and loyal love. The choice had been made, but not by him, and the impact of this separation would echo throughout his personal life. After learning the details of the confrontation, do you think Anita's decision to leave him was an act of self-love or a cruel push toward Elvis's destiny? Comment below. Anita Wood's departure from Graceland was the turning point that sealed Elvis Presley's fate. The dignity with which she ended the relationship, forcing the king's hand, gave Priscilla the necessary space to assume her role in Elvis's life. From 1962 onwards, Elvis's path was clearly set toward marriage, but the impact of this impossible choice would echo in his happiness and stability for the rest of his days. With Anita out of the picture, Priscilla moved into Graceland, completing her education and adapting to Elvis's eccentric and closed world. In 1967, they married in Las Vegas, in a ceremony that, although glamorous, was surrounded by a certain urgency. The arrival of their daughter, Lisa Marie, shortly thereafter, completed the family image. Meanwhile, Anita Wood demonstrated remarkable resilience and strength. She moved on with her life, marrying football player Johnny Brewer. Over the years, Anita maintained the memory of her romance with Elvis with notable class and respect, never seeking to exploit the story sensationally. She always referred to Elvis fondly, calling him her first love, attesting to the depth of what they shared. This posture reinforces the perception of many fans that their love was genuine and solid. The big question that remains among fans, biographers, and analysts of the king's life is the powerful what if? What if Elvis had chosen to marry Anita? The age difference and the relationship dynamic with Anita were notably different from those with Priscilla. Anita was an adult woman, already established in her career and life, and the relationship with Elvis was one of greater equality and maturity. Many speculate that this stability and Anita's maturity could have provided Elvis with the emotional support and grounding he needed to face the turbulent years ahead. The king constantly struggled with the pressure of stardom, the inherent loneliness of fame, and the difficulty of finding genuine relationships. A partner with a strong sense of self-identity like Anita could have helped shield him from the pressures of the Memphis Circle and his own self-sabotage. The years following his marriage to Priscilla were marked by great professional successes, such as the famous 1968 TV special and the return to the Las Vegas stage. However, in parallel, Elvis's personal life plunged into increasingly intense turbulence. He began to face serious health issues, and his relationship with Priscilla wore down under the weight of fame, Elvis's lifestyle, and emotional distance. Elvis's relentless search for peace and stability was evident in his actions and his inner circle. The divorce from Priscilla in 1973 was a significant blow. The end of this marriage shook him deeply, and in the following years, his health continued to decline, exacerbated by his isolation and the increasing use of medication, which unfortunately impacted his health and well-being. It is not up to us to speculate about what might have happened, but the dilemma of 1962 is a deep reflection of Elvis's inner conflict. He chose electrifying passion over secure comfort, and this choice had lasting consequences. Anita Wood's story is a poignant reminder that even for the incomparable icon, happiness was on the line. The woman he left behind in mutual tears represented a future that could have been more stable. The choice he couldn't make for himself became the catalyst for his destiny. Elvis's lonely flight, free from Anita's constant presence, began there, a path of grandeur and, tragically, of growing solitude. And there it is, fans of the King, the intimate, painful, and true story of the moment Elvis Presley found himself at the most difficult crossroad of his life. The dilemma between Anita Wood and Priscilla was not just a love triangle. It was the human drama of a man who cried because he couldn't choose, a moment that shaped the destiny of Graceland forever. From now on, when you listen to Elvis's songs, you'll remember that behind the stage and the spotlights, there was a vulnerable heart. But now, I want to know your opinion, the opinion of our Memphis Mafia. What is your verdict? Do you think Anita Wood would have offered the stability that Elvis needed in his most difficult years? Was her decision to leave an act of self-love that forced the king's destiny? Leave your comment down here. Let's open the debate respectfully and passionately about this crucial piece of history.
If you felt the emotion, if you learned new detail, and if this deep dive into Elvis's life kept you hooked from beginning to end, don't be a square. Leave your like to show that the King's legend lives on. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our next exclusive and informative videos about Elvis. Activate the notification bell to be the first to know when the King's next secret is revealed. And of course, share this video with that friend or family member who also admires and reveres Elvis Presley. Our mission is to keep the King's memory alive and factually accurate. Join us on this journey. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, and thank you very much.